Bonjour, good evening, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my office, welcome to my home. It's Ilanit, your host for tonight, for a new episode of an intimate conversation with Ilanit, where I bring a spiritual topic and conversation and share some of my wisdom as a mindful and intuitive life coach. And also, more than happy to welcome some of our listeners here live in the studio for participating either on what I'm talking, but also as everyone familiar with the concept of intuitive guidance and also mindful life coaching. I've been really sharing my gift, my knowledge for very long time. Started like some of people out there in a very early age when I understood that I was an empath and intuitive. It was quite interesting because growing up, as you can hear from the accent, I was born and raised in Paris, but in a very classic Orthodox Jewish family with a father actually as a rabbi. And interestingly, I guess you know how they say that the fruit never falls very far from the tree. Uh, I quickly realized that either way, from the side of my mother or my father, there was always this idea of service, of being here to facilitate life for others, and of course, with a direct implication with the connection to God, the divine, or the universe, whatever way we wish to call it, because at the end of the day, it's this flawless energy that everybody can sense just by looking at the perfection of the world around us. And when I talk perfection, of course, everybody would say there's much chaos, much challenges, but yet there is a a rhythm of everything, and only like it says, only a master painter could have created that. So every Tuesday for now quite some time already, it's kind of a shocker for me. It was really something very different than what I was used to. I've been here coming live and meeting with some of the people that I've been following, Joseph and Kristen, for a very long time. Maybe I'm hoping some of my people as well, and saying a different side of what I do. For people that are familiar with my work, I like to make it also very practical. Like I definitely have the two sides where the spiritual meeting the physical world, where I like to use certain tools that I will consider myself a little bit more uh, grounded and a little bit more also scientist, if of course we are open to believe that there is uh, an order in the universe that may be through Kabbalistic astrology and numerology and other different modalities. There is a language between us and the divine, and that we are not left alone on this planet trying to figure it out how to live the best life we could live and overcome the challenges we have. And I always like to bring this teaching in a very practical way where people from all walks of life can really resonate with. And I like to find myself being kind of an advocate that spirituality is not reserved for a certain group of people that are awakened, that are much more in the movement of spiritual um, openness, but really for everyone that just want to improve their relation with life, with how they function and what their role in the world. So I just would like to say hello to the few people that I see already. Uh, I see Wanda is here. Hi, Wanda. Wanda, Lisa, Christopher also. Thank you for being here tonight. Uh, Lisa, yes, I do reading. You can come either live or I will be more than happy to use some of my decks of cards, which I use much more like a compass to give me the direction where to look and how to sense a little bit more of you and where you're at in your life. And again, it's about creating your own life and giving you the tools for yourself, generating, what you need to do in order to make the best of everything that is happening, like we said, not to you, but for you. Okay, so for whoever is listening tonight, the topic I wanted to bring, and I just need to give a little bit of background while I decided to talk about that. Being raised, like I said, in a Jewish Orthodox family, is in the house of Kabbalah that I found really the knowledge that could allow me to continue be authentic to where I was born, but also to find the resources I needed to understand better that spiritual dimension that can happen to anybody really, independently of where they are born, what religion they identify with, and much more this universal idea of we are all soul, all children of God, walking on the earth and trying to fulfill the purpose for which we were born to. And so, for the people that are familiar with Judaism or the teaching of Kabbalah, which is basically the oral teaching that help us decode the secret of the Bible, because as it says, if we see the Bible as merely a book of story, we are really missing the point. It's really much more like the guide for our lives. And the teaching of Kabbalah is just about that, understanding, and this being able to decipher what are the Bible is teaching us. Now, as someone born in a house of Judaism, we know that we go by the rhythm of the universe. We have different set of holiday. Every week we have the day of Shabbat that is supposed to be for the soul. And in order to understand each moment in our life and understand each windows of opportunities, we can go back to the portion of the week. So this week, we're reading the last portion of the fourth book of Moses. And with what it was quite interesting, we're talking and we kind of do a recap of the different journey that the Israelites took when they were in the desert. And now we know, and this is good for everyone, every time that we go to a new place, whether it is a physical place or it is an emotional place, it is an opportunity to around new understanding about ourselves. It even says when we want to change a little bit our destiny, what we call the mazal is the idea that in order to shuffle the cards and create a change, we can change place. And I'm sure each one of you out there must have seen when you change work, where you change place where you live, whether just a location, same maybe city, but maybe a new home, you can sense that maybe it helps see life in a different way. Things start to change and shift. And so this is the idea that we are all in a journey of discovering a little bit more about ourselves. And it made me think about that concept that we find into spirituality, but also antique history, the idea of the hero's journey. Is all those books that we see people like Paulo Coelho and other stories. I'm thinking in the French literature, Voltaire, that talk about this man called Candide that is going on a journey. And really, each one of us are going through that same process, which is to go on an adventure and discover a little bit more about who we are. And what is really interesting, there is 12 steps. And I just found it interesting that it would be 12 steps of that journey, because it's also a similarity of a person that's trying to recover, we call the 12-step program. And even though I'm not so familiar and into it, even though I'm working with people that try to recover from addiction, but not specifically the 12-step program, I did realize that it's kind of the idea that we need to go to different level to go deeper really inside of us. So the steps are always the same. The first step is to take a person into an ordinary world, an original story. And this is, can really transcribe about the journey of everyone when we go to awakening. At the beginning, we are in a place with a set of stories, parents, interaction with maybe children, married life, and suddenly there is something happening inside of us. Is a call, we call the calling, of looking for some adventure. Let me just say, good evening, Ruti, welcome. So yeah, I'm talking tonight about the idea of the hero's journey, which is for each one of us. It's how life unravels, and many times we go through cycles of it, because we keep evolving and we keep reinventing ourselves. So first we start in an ordinary world, a first place where we are born, where we live. Then there is this call for adventure. And many times what's happened, depending on where we are, let's imagine, you live a life and you kind of know your surrounding. You know the rules, you know how things function. Maybe you are part of an environment, that is already a form of a box that you are familiar with, and maybe it's difficult to break out of it. We can talk about a family, a religion, a marriage, even that we feel we know it. Maybe we want something else, but then at the same time, there is the third step that is a part of us might refuse it. We might say, no, 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 this is too scary. What should I go out of what I know already? But many times what's happened, if is really the time for us to go through a change, what will happen, step number 4, we will meet a mentor. And a mentor can take different form. It can be a person, it can be a spiritual guide, it can be a higher consciousness talking to us, maybe through dreams, maybe through nudges of the soul, maybe suddenly meeting a person that's going to act as a messenger for us. And eventually, something always will happen in our life, an event that's going to trigger that departure, that decision that, okay, I cannot stay in that place where I'm at, they need for a change. Now, of course, we all know, it's like any hero story. It never happened that simply. After come test, come the meeting of people that are going to help us, but people that are going to challenge us. Okay? But somehow we will always be guided by a vision, something that tells us there's something more, and a place of enlightenment, a place where we can feel there's something bigger about ourselves. And of course, it can happen that we're going to be challenged in a way that's telling us, okay, what is happening now to get all this energy out of us? So it can take obviously different form, but eventually, if we go through the process, the ordeal, with the certainty that is to lead us to a better place, eventually there is the reward. There is that feeling that things then going to come to us in a more easy way, and then taking us back to the road back home, where suddenly we are more awakened. Maybe we can make a difference, because sometimes living doesn't mean always living, not coming back. It's just coming back in our own terms and being able to suddenly say, okay, now I have discovered something else about me, and now maybe I needed to set myself free and appreciate the people that are in my life, but also realizing that I need to be me at the end of the day. And suddenly, it's mastering both worlds to understand that maybe we don't have to break away completely from or initial environment, talking maybe a home, a family, or a group, a religion, but suddenly realizing that we need to live it independently in our own terms and to be able to free and to have both worlds, the one that we met, which is taking closer to who we are at the level of our soul and who we were born, and suddenly to kind of combine the two. So, of course, in that journey, what was there was somehow something for me that was telling me, wow, this is no coincidence. Lately, I've been hooked into that TV shows that is played on Netflix, and I don't know if you gave a look to it, called Manifest. And I really found, first of all, it reminded me in some concept, in some level, an old show that was called Quantum Leap. And this is the idea that I wanted to leave everyone with tonight. This idea that we all on a journey where we need to become the hero of our own lives. And somehow, all that we can control is our consciousness to be open-hearted for every situation that comes to us, realizing that eventually we can only see what's presented to us. So for people that will give a look to that show, each episode give a set of people that receive this mission to solve certain mystery that seemingly are divine calling, and which was the same in that previous older show, Quantum Leap, where every time the main character was reincarnating himself, taking the place of someone that was going through a process in life and help him solve in moment in life something that was major in his life. And this is exactly what we can understand about our lives. Each day we receive a riddle to solve about our own process, our own journey. And all what we need is to have an open heart. And like I said, to have the certainty that the divine is in the picture. Like my teacher used to say, the divine light is in the business. And we just need to have an open heart, the commitment to go through that process with bravery, with not giving up. And ultimately, what I found through those two shows, for example, that is a beautiful illustration, is to have an unconditional love and desire to help others in that process. Because eventually it's not only about us, because there is this idea of personal correction, personal karma journey, but there is the idea of the universal journey. And we are all connected, like just like they say in that show, we all connected. And we here somehow to help each other and to reveal peace for each other. So ultimately, I would say even when we encounter challenging situation, whether with some people, some situation coming in our lives, there is a bigger picture. And so for us, we should just focus on becoming like the hero man said, that knows that there is a higher power, there is gift inside of us that can make a difference. So, so I don't know if anyone tonight would like to come here for a question. Monica liked it. Thank you, Monica. I miss you. I would definitely love to get in touch. Uh, Otherwise, I really know that everyone has been kind of on break. It's summertime. For me, eventually, why I'm still here is because it's been probably the time that I had the most free time since my daughter been homeschooled for now a year and a half, and now I eventually send her to camps. Um, but otherwise, yeah, we will take it week by week. I know that Joseph and Kristen said the same about the Wednesday show. Kristen says she will do her Monday show sometime, yes, and really depending on her schedule. But otherwise, me, I will probably do the same because I will probably organize some trips, in the next few weeks. But I just wanted to use this opportunity tonight uh, to send my best wishes for Joseph, which is his birthday tonight. Um, if I'm here somehow, because it's of course always the divine light, guiding and making things happen, but it's really because of Joseph and me meeting with him and Kristen that eventually took me on that journey of doing a little bit more of what I've been doing much of my life undercover and in my hideout. So just want to send a lot of love and light and best wishes. And I'm sure people that knows him wish only the best for him as well as I do. So that would be it, I guess, for tonight. Um, it, I'm just so grateful to be out there. Like we know, energy never gets lost. Hey, you love it. Thank you, Monica. Appreciate. Let's just put this. Oh, and I see Laura is here. Okay, fantastic. I'm not just talking to myself tonight. But like I said, for me, been doing that for so long. I know that it's not about making it personal. The response, what's happening, the energy is out there. And this is what I want to leave for each one of you. Never regret, never feel that there is not a reward for doing good deeds, doing the steps and helping others and working on yourself, on your spirituality, on meditating, on thinking good thought and tending life, because it is working. Miracles happen, things happen, and it's really about creating this critical mass in the universe where suddenly the light can overthrow the darkness. And if sometimes we have that crippling in because we see what's happening in the world, it says, it's at the break of dawn that is getting the darkest. So not to give up and to keep really doing our best, teaming up, knowing that we are all connected and never giving up. So Laura, do you want to come up tonight? Yes? And thank you, Monica. I want to be in touch with you. So if you're still listening, call me. Okay, Laura.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, I'm
Oh my
doing good. You
goodness.
to have someone coming here tonight.
Let me see if I
It's
get
so
set
strange, you know.
filtered.
You never know. I guess we all are busy, and this is what I'm saying. Things happen, life happen, and there's ups and there's downs. Sometimes I come and I feel that it's going to be very quiet and a lot of people, and then you think, wow, it's going to be very busy because I know Kristen didn't do her show last night, and there's no show on Wednesday, and it seems very quiet tonight. But I'm here. Like I said to Joseph today, I'm holding the fort.
Hmm, I'm glad.
How have you been, my dear?
I'm okay.
You okay? Oh,
Yeah,
all right. So, want to pull some cards to see what's happening? What message
certainly.
we get?
Absolutely.
Good.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I had shared that before. I feel myself, my life has been shifting in many ways,
Yeah.
trying to get me to next level.
Hmm.
And I'm just trying to figure it out where it does lead and being open to it.
Yeah.
But definitely, being having more people reaching out, like I said, it's, I'm sure you understand this idea that what we do can be done, there's different aspect to it. For some of us, it could become our work and the way we sustain ourselves. But for me, I always felt it was a little bit of both. It was never fully, this is what I do for a living. This is really my soul, the service that I'm doing in this world. So I always felt in that side, grateful that I'm always doing it.
Yeah.
So
And we are grateful for you.
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. it is something that I cannot see myself ever not doing, because this is where, as a soul here on earth, this is where I connect.
Yes.
And because we know people that have been having spiritual call early on. It's something that is as important as the air we breathe. We need that connection. We need to feel that we we help, we bring that teaching outside, and we feel the connection.
Yes.
So so take a deep breath for me. All right. I'm gonna go with this deck first. Okay. And then I'm gonna take this one, which I like also very much. Okay, I see somebody sending me a message. Good to see me. I am at work. Love, love, love. But I just don't know who it is. It's like somebody like me that is hiding. Okay. Okay. Up. Let's do another one here. Where are you calling from, Laura?
Boca Raton?
Oh, you're like we're neighbors then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm gonna do one more tonight. Okay. Just to remind people that are listening that we can come live by clicking on the link in the. It's easy to find, right? The blue
Oh,
link at the top. Yeah.
yes.
And also send messages. So, and I'm happy to answer as well. Okay. So let me see what grabbed my attention here. Um, so of course, I see the connection of you and being on that spiritual journey, but I'm getting right now this kind of letting you know that you're doing what you're supposed to do. So if is there anything that you wonder about, am I doing the right thing? Am I the right place? I am told you're doing the right things, but it's much more if sometimes you feel out of balance, is because you really need to uh, ask yourself much more on regular basis, what are your own needs. Okay, because here this card is telling me you need to pay a little bit more attention to what your body is telling you. Okay,
Okay.
that maybe sometimes you take too much of a load on yourself. Sometimes maybe you have acute, I would feel like, do you experience tightness on your chest?
No, but I do, not in my chest. Since I had COVID, like if I get anxiety, I have a
Okay,
breathing issue.
this is
So
what
yeah,
I'm getting,
yeah.
because I'm getting it's getting tight right here. And you
Yes.
see, even right now, I'm getting like, for me, it feels the tightness like there is a lack of air passing, like when you hyperventilate. And
Right.
this is what
And
I'm feeling right now.
yeah, and
And
I had a very
so,
stressful night last night at work, so I had yeah, it happened.
okay, so I am told that you need to work with the color purple, and kind of work, because it's interesting, and maybe, because when I think of COVID, there is the breathing that might be connected to the throat, but I'm getting the chest, and the chest beside, the hair pathway, it's also connected to the heart chakras eventually. And I will say that if there was an energy that we might associate this whole COVID, if we think of our generation, that maybe we kind of locked our heart because we kind of isolated all ourselves, especially when you think of this generation living now through, not automatically that is for you, but in general, social media, that now there is kind of people not automatically connecting with each other, closing their heart to each other, you know. So I feel that maybe the correction is about that, is about how we can reopen our heart, realizing that if we are in lockdown, away from each other, or with people that we disconnected, then there's a lot of resentment, energy, and because difficult to breathe, even because now suddenly either we are isolated and we lack the interaction with other, or we become suffocated because we are now in lockdown with people that we don't know how to communicate with. Okay,
True.
so I think, there is this idea for you to kind of bring some healing, into all those emotions. And sometimes those emotions are not just you in your life, but you as somebody that is uh, an empathic person, all those emotions that you've been taking and that has been locked right
Yes.
here. Uh,
Yes.
because here is telling me it is time. You see, this woman that need to take the time to align herself and with her life, and to collect the pieces that have been a little bit shattered. That makes sense.
Yes, totally.
Also, I am told, which is interesting, I get this card which is connect to the plexus, but really what I'm told is you need to create oneness and unity, which go with this card where I see pieces that are a little bit shattered everywhere. So it's really about what I'm getting. Isn't any particular people that you have disconnected with? I'm getting there's some friction that some people there was some event taking place that we don't talk so much to each other.
Yeah, there's some friction.
Okay.
Definitely.
So you need to remember that you have the key. That is her, because eventually we are the people that get those calling, that we supposed to solve the riddle, and it's not only about us, it's about other people. And sometimes, yes, there is some people that we have challenging relationship with, but somehow our well-being and their well-being is connected. And so it doesn't mean we need automatically to be in contact with them, but we need to do a certain work to create healing. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Because you see, that card is telling me, as an empath, you need to become this radiating sun that provide this warmth energy. And so you can find way through meditation. I always advise people that want to affect people in their life to create a time, a place, a box even, where they put things that allow them to make a connection with their soul, and take the time, to create healing by sending energy, by maybe reading. Everybody can do whatever feel right for them. Can be journaling in front and expressing their deepest wishes. Can be read Bible. Can make study, or do something that become meaningful, that become the mantra, that become the healing energy that we want to generate. And like I said, it's for both people. It's you and it's them. Okay. Any
Okay.
any other question you would like to ask me?
No.
No? Okay. So I guess this is the homework, and I'm told, you need to think of ways where you can look at the area that you have in common, okay? And connect much more to what you have, that you share, and not so much the thing that make you different. Okay, and emphasize on that, emphasize
Okay.
on what you share.
That makes really good sense.
Okay, I'm glad. I'm
Thank you.
glad. Oh, you're so welcome.
It's so good to
So
see you
same here, Laura. You have a nice evening.
too.
Keep doing it and stop by.
If I leave the chat, if I hit leave, will it take me out?
Yes, yes, it will.
But will I be able to see your rest of your show?
Usually, from the what I know, you need then to go back on Facebook, wherever you
Okay.
first started to watch.
Okay, because I
But
just
I
don't
don't
want to
know.
take up. I don't want to take up room for somebody else.
Well, listen, right now it's pretty quiet, so I don't know. I know I have viewers because I am told, I have people watching, but I don't know if
Mhm.
anyone's gonna want to come live or, so.
Oh, they should.
Yeah, thank you. Well,
Yes,
talk to your friend.
please.
And like I said, I'm so glad we got to talk. So
Me too. Good to see you.
have a good night. Same
Thank
here,
you.
Laura. You take care. Bye. All right. So let me see who's here. So Aura is here. Good evening. Well, I don't know what time it is for you, but I'm happy you're here. Um, so yes, it's just to remember. I used to tell the kids that I used to teach every week this spirituality program. There is a hero inside of us, and we need really to look at life in that way. That we are on the path of revealing our true colors. It is sometimes challenging, but we really need to open our ears, to open our eyes, to really look that there is guidance, there is signs that are here to guide us on the way. People that we meet, and even sometimes it can be people that we meet for just a short period of time, but it was meaningful and it was what needed, and then maybe we depart. It can be, finding guidance through certain book that we pick at the library. Was one of my favorite thing to do when I was young, going to library or bookstore and just let the book guiding me. And I had a book, is interesting. I had a book that I bought eventually that was good at that moment. And then eventually, a few years later, I was reminded, you should open this book, it's going to have answers. And sometimes it's just shocking that there was information that was already available for you and now they reappear when you need it. So, but like I say, ultimately is to have this open heart to be a mediator for the light force in this place in the world, and to create this energy for everyone to benefit. So, well, thank you, Monica, for sharing that with me. Thank you for everyone that was here. Um, I guess I'm gonna close it for tonight. I most certainly will come back Tuesday, sometime in random time also. But like I said, communicate with me. Let me know, when you would like me also to come. Maybe there's other time, other days. I would be happy to do that if it works, with my schedule. And just to catch up even for a short time and just to say hello and being here to support us and build up this community. So I want to thank you all. Please remember to share with your friend, to like my page at IC by Ilanit. Also to remind you that I have a book available on Amazon called Kids Do, which is a beautiful story for children of all ages, I will say. And so I will call it a wrap for tonight. Wishing you a beautiful night filled with love and light always. Your dear friend, Ilanit. And just seeing, oh, Amanda? Okay. I'm pleased to meet you as well. If you want to come live, you are more than welcome. If you want also a reading, I'm going to push it, I saw it. So I'm going to stick around. Just let me know what works best for you. And if you want, yeah, I can read some cards for you tonight. I see there's still Chandra is here. Thank you for coming. Ellen, nice to meet you. I don't think we met before. All right, so we're gonna call it then a wrap. Thank you all. Have a good night, and I will see you really soon.